A really interesting story today. I'm at AB Graphics International in Bridlington. They're a big user of Hurco machine tools. I've come to meet with Steve and Lucas. They recently bought 2 new machines, which we're going to look at in more detail. We're going to talk to the guys about what they like about them and what, most importantly, they've delivered for the business. Steve, how long's this latest Hurco machine been here?
This one's been here about 6 months now, so it's up and running.
And what is the model?
It's a VMX 60 SWI.
So the SWI, does that mean it's got an additional axis?
Yeah, you've got the 4th axis on this one, so all the ones in the factory are just 3 axis, but this one has your 4th axis, so you get 90 degrees on the left, 90 degrees on the right.
And when we talk about that 4th axis, that's actually in this head up here, isn't it?
The whole head on this one swivels to the left or to the right, so that's your B axis.
Because I know with this model you can get an integrated table as well to give you the 5th axis. Why didn't you go for that and you just stay with a 4?
Well, most of the jobs we do is just end holes or bearing housings, so we didn't need the 4th axis. But with this long vise we've got here, you can turn your 4th axis into a 5th axis.
By rotating that round.
Rotating the vise all the way around.
So this particular model here then, so we've got a tipping head which would call our B axis essentially. What's it actually machining on this part, end holes?
On this part, because it's a bearing housing, you've got the bars on each end, and by having the 4th axis, you can do the bars on the left, bars on the right, and you know they're in line with each other and parallel. Where if you're on a 3 axis, you'd have to do 1 bar at one side, turn your block upside down, get it in line, and then rebar it again. Which
introduces a lot of potentially operator error.
Yeah, you get a lot of operator error in there. Where with this one, because they've set it when it was installed, there should be 0 error between each side.
How fast is this machine, Steve?
I'd say it's pretty fast, really.
Give me an example of what you're machining or what speed you're running at.
We've got a 16mm carbide cutter, about full face, 10mm deep. You've got about 5,500 millimetres a minute.
That's pretty quick. That's pretty quick. You must be machining or making a lot of swarf at that speed. What happens to that?
All of our swarf goes down the back, down the flood coolant, into conveyor at the bottom, and then straight out to left-hand side into the bins.
Okay, and we can't move on to the next machine without talking about this control, because this is obviously the latest control from Hurco. Yeah. How do you find this?
I think it's a lot more user-friendly, this one, because you've got the bigger twin screen on it. Your keypad's more where your fingers are, really, so it saves stretching all the time, and then it just looks smarter.
There's a lot of features to it. We've done a couple of videos on it. I know it does enhance machining capability. Back onto the machine then. So how much of a benefit has this machine been to your business since you've had it in?
I'd say a great benefit. If we were to sub these out, for instance, we could probably save half the money minimum from us doing it.
All right, and let's have a look at another part. You've got this plate here.
Now this plate here, usually you'd machine it normally, stand it up on an angle plate, end all, spin it, end all. But with your 4th axis, machine it, tilt the head end all, tilt the head end all. So for that, you'd probably save 5 minutes on each one, end all in, and then you've got your setup as long as well.
And again, the accuracy, the fact that you know you're going to get the holes in the right place.
All machined at once, everything will be in line with each other.
And what's this billet here?
This billet, that's a very technical filing stand, so don't get a bad back.
I'm glad to see you're not bending over. All right, we're going to move on to the next machine. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
So that's just one of a few new machines here installed by Hurco at AB Graphics. I'm going over to another machine here, which is a DCX 32i. I'm going to speak to Lucas. Lucas, tell me about this machine.
This is DCX 32i, excuse me.
It's a big machine.
Yeah, 35 tons, 3 meters per 2 meters size of a table.
Yeah, 35 ton is the weight of this, and 3 meters by 2 meters is the axis size. Exactly. So we're machining billets over here. What are you machining here?
We're machining frames for our machines.
So this is more plate work, isn't it? I can see.
Yes, is it?
And what sort of material?
This is aluminium.
So what speed are you machining at?
8,000 RPM.
And what about the feed rate?
It's 2,000 millimeter per minute.
So pretty quick then. And what you're actually doing on here, drilling, tapping, milling?
Yes, milling, drilling, tapping, doing some slots, counterbores, pockets.
So what actually drove you to a machine of this size?
We couldn't find any subcontractor company which could do plates this size and have a machine this size.
And you get into grips with the control all right?
Yes, I am.
Are you programming offline or at the control itself?
Myself as well. I'm learning this machine because we have this one since 1 year already.
So how do you find the programming of this machine then, Lucas?
It's very smart programming. I was using Fanuc before, and Hurco it's much more faster and smarter programming.
Okay, brilliant. Thanks very much for your time, Lucas. So that's a great example today of two extremes of what Hurco can supply. We've got a 4-axis compact machining centre, which we looked at first with Steve, and then this DCX 32i. So we've gone from billet work to plate work.